Now that we're past Labor Day, I have in mind today one specific class we're going to be offering this fall at St. Philip Deacon, and also a question for you about how we can continue to do a better job of building community here at the church. Stay tuned. Hello, friends. Pastor Tim Westermeyer here, Senior Pastor of St. Philip the Deacon in the western suburbs of Minneapolis. Good to be with you, as always. We are taping this in the week immediately after Labor Day. I mentioned this in my sermon this past weekend, which we will link to here, but that moment in the year always strikes me as a kind of a transitional moment when we move from the summer to the fall, and so I'm thinking about that and reflecting on all of the amazing opportunities we have here at St. Philip the Deacon for people to connect with. I will say here, and I mentioned this also in my sermon, one of the things we are working hard at St. Philip the Deacon in the coming year is figuring out how we can continue to invite people who engage with us digitally more fully into the life of the community. And that's not a punitive thing. It's not sort of slapping people on the wrist saying, oh, you're not doing enough. The point is for us on our end to say, how can we give you the resources you need to feel more fully like you're part of this faith family? We'll be working on that, no doubt, for many years to come. But if you are among the people who participate primarily with us in a digital format, whether that's live streaming or this podcast or social media or whatever, I would genuinely welcome your input about things you've seen or done with other churches or organizations that you found helpful as you engage with them. So that's one thing I will point out as we're sort of anticipating the start of the program year with all of the classes and opportunities for fellowship and faith formation that we have here. And then the last thing I want to say this morning is actually now something very specific about something that we are doing only in person, and I think that's always also going to be the case for a church like us. There will be all kinds of opportunities for people to engage digitally or virtually, but always also opportunities that are explicitly in person. And one thing I want to lift up, I don't know if any of you find the Partners in the Gospel. You can find this at spdlc.org/livestream. It lists all of the, well, not all, but a lot of the opportunities coming up. And there's one class specifically that I want to invite people to consider signing up for. If this doesn't apply to you, would you at least reflect on whether there are people in your life who it might apply to, and encourage them maybe to check it out. And it's a marriage enrichment class that my wife, Amy, and I will be leading for 6 weeks, starting Monday, October 2nd through November 6th. So they're always Monday evenings. We'll have a very simple dinner at 5:45, which is child-friendly. We'll have childcare available for the youngest kids. We'll have space available for older kids who might need some place to do homework or something. And then we'll spend an hour together using a resource, a book by Tim Keller about marriage as sort of our primary resource. Amy and I will share some of our own stories after 31 years of marriage. And as I said this Sunday, 31 years of marriage doesn't mean we've got it all figured out by any means, but we've learned a few things. We've raised 4 children, 1 child with special needs, and we'll share our own thoughts. But then the most important part of this class, I think, is actually just giving the people who are present in the class an opportunity to get to know one another, so that as they continue to live out their marriages over the next few years and months and so forth, they can support one another and become more of a faith family, which is, of course, part of what we're all about here at St. Philip the Deacon. So again, basically a simple plug, an invitation to join us for that class. I hope, again, if that doesn't apply to you, you'll think of people it might apply to. If it does apply to you, I hope you'll join us early in October for that class. And again, back to the first point I made, if you have thoughts about how we, St. Philip Deacon, can do a better job of connecting you if you participate virtually, I would really genuinely love to hear from you. So, happy Labor Day. I hope the start of the fall has been good for you. And until next time, be well, stay in touch, and God bless.